Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Saturday. Hello everybody. It is about 12:25 or 12:10 or whatever it is. You guys are probably wondering, Mike, why aren't you at work? You're crazy. Head over to work. No, I'm off today. Actually, I'm off Sunday and Saturdays now, so I get to come to you guys live earlier than usual. Just one second. You guys are wondering why there's noise in the background. It's because of that doohickey right there. The AC unit keeping me cold because it's like 80-something degrees out. It's not as disgusting as it was last weekend, but in the weekend before, or the weekend before that. So, but yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to another I'll be back. Well, I welcome you guys. Sorry about that pause. It's about a couple minutes later. Sorry, I had to use the restroom because my bladder is not being good. So, good today. So, well, I had to use the facilities, but anyway. I wanted to talk about a recent happening, and if the title of the video doesn't give it away, so I wanted to tackle my thoughts and my thoughts, kind of my words, and kind of my look back on something that I look back on the history of a certain race team that's starting to fall apart bit by bit, and a race team that's really been good over the last decade or so. I'm talking about Red Bull Racing. This is in light of Christian Horner being sacked, or I think he left the team himself. I don't think Christian Horner is the team principal. I'm pretty sure he probably sacked himself because I think he just wanted to leave and stuff like that. But they have to say sacked. Obviously, I think he might have left voluntarily, to be honest. So, but who knows? Maybe they're just doing it to create some drama. So yes, Christian Horner, the head, the team principal of Red Bull Racing, that has been the dominant force for best part of a decade and change. So, yes, Christian Horner has officially left Red Bull, or has been sacked from Red Bull, and is now out in the free agency slot. I hope he lands it somewhere good, or he lands somewhere good, or he does something else. So he's no longer with Red Bull. He's no longer with Racing Bull. He's not going to be part of the Racing Bulls team. He's not going to be part of the Red Bull team. I think it's safe to say that I didn't really expect him to. I didn't really expect him to get fired or anything. I expected to stay with Red Bull, but I think maybe he just wanted to go, and maybe they just wanted to let him go so he could go someplace else, start anew. Because I think his resume at Red Bull is nothing short of amazing. I don't think it's really. I don't really think it's anyone's particular fault that Red Bull is falling apart. I think it's just probably a mix of that Red Bull has gotten complacent, and the technology freeze is changing. The technology freeze, for those of you who are not familiar, Formula One is ending its current drivetrain regulations this year. At the end of this year. So when the checker flies drops in the air and flies in the air at Abu Dhabi at the end of this year, November. The 2020 the regulations for the turbo hybrid race cars in Formula One, the current configuration with the MGU-H and the MGU, the motor generator unit, kinetic, and the hybrid system, that is all going away. I forget which one they are going away with, what they were doing. I think it's the MGU, forget which one. It's the MGU-H or the MGU-K, I can't remember. That's going to be going away, and Red Bull is also going to be part of Ford powertrains going forward. So maybe Verstappen may want to go to Mercedes and try to be with them, because at the moment Mercedes is actually in front of them in the Constructors' Championship. In fact, Mercedes engines are starting to make a huge resurgence, and the Honda powertrains, I think, are starting to go away. And I think once Ferrari gets its act together, pretty sure Ferrari is going to find its way up to the front and stay there as well. So I think Hamilton's moves was kind of ballsy, but I think he just wanted to change things a little bit. And I think Verstappen is looking to do the same, because there are rumors that he may be going to Mercedes in 26. And I think Verstappen wanted to do so because Mercedes engines are starting to make a resurgence. Honda had their way for a little bit, and they've won 4 Constructors' Championships and stuff like that. And they won 4 Constructors' Championships, not including the one Senna won in the late 80s, early 90s. Can't forget him. Because the Honda name wouldn't be big in Formula One without Senna dominating the turbo era and the V12 era. So I think Horner getting sacked, him getting let go, it's a bit sad, but he could have stayed with the team, but maybe he saw the writing on the wall. Maybe they saw something, or maybe he just wasn't producing the results. I mean, he's won the Constructors' Championship, and he's stayed in the top 1 or 2 in the points positions in the last couple of years. Verstappen is behind McLaren, and being beaten by McLaren in a Mercedes is kind of a bad thing. And considering a couple of years back in 2014, 2015, 2016, Honda was basically the Honda turbo hybrid that's in the Red Bulls now was a pile of garbage, because Fernando Alonso and Jenson Button couldn't even win with the damn thing, let alone everything. And we know that Mercedes dominated in 2014 and so on and so forth. Now that McLaren has got their old engine back from the mid to late 90s, I can kind of see them going back on a streak again, and actually doing well, because McLaren, got to remember, did very good with the Mercedes powered engines, but of course they had to deal with Schumacher and Vettel and Alonso over the years, and then they had to deal with Lewis Hamilton, and then they had to deal with Max Verstappen winning a lot of Grand Prix. So I think there was a lot of plus. Red Bull has been breaking apart slowly but surely. Newey left, so the car isn't developing the same way, because Adrian Newey is a genius in terms of car design, aerodynamics, and stuff like that. He's kind of the reason why any car that was Adrian Newey based was either winning or very dominant, or was a very good car, even if it wasn't. And Adrian Newey's CV, career CV, or his resume is huge. So, and him going to Aston Martin, I kind of figured this was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise. Once Newey left and the rumor mill was about Verstappen leaving the team kind of left, I kind of was like, Horner I kind of figured they had to push Horner out. I'm pretty sure he's getting a decent severance package and everything, so he's not truly suffering because he's going to go with another team. So obviously, or maybe he's going to sit in the background, or maybe he might go with another team, or maybe he might do endurance racing. Who knows? I don't know what he's going to do, who he's going to join. Some speculation say he might go to Ferrari, but because he can't go to, he might take a role in Ferrari, but I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. And I think part of it goes that they're changing power units, and with the way how Mercedes is doing it, they're going to be on the back foot. They're not going to be as competitive because Mercedes seems like they are a solid package right now, and Mercedes is the engine to have. They always have been because they make very good motors. And Ilmor powertrains, the ones who actually were acquired and bought during the mid to late 90s, early 90s from Paul Morgan and Mario Ilian. I mean, Ilian is still part of it. I mean, Ilian was part of it for a while, and then he just joined Roger Penske to produce Ilmor engines over here for the IndyCar teams that run Chevrolet, even though Chevy's having a horrible season this year in IndyCar and stuff like that. And I hope they win at least one race, because I think they have one race tonight and have one race, but that's beside the point. So yeah, with the Ford so with the Mercedes powertrain being dominant again, and them switching to Ford, pretty sure management thought, hey, we kind of have to let you go. We'll give you a severance package. You can be on your way. And I'm pretty sure he wanted to go because you're third in the Constructors' Championship. The car's trash now. Verstappen can still qualify the car very well. He's not driving the super best car. In qualifying, I get it. Qualifying, the car's amazing. The car is absolutely blitz fast. But in terms of the race pace and engineering, I think Mercedes and McLaren combo kind of has the secret sauce. And it's actually good to see McLaren do this. Hopefully when the regulations change, Ferrari's good, and hopefully Ferrari gets into it. And I'm hoping one of the other teams, like maybe Williams will go on a streak, because I hope Williams. I don't know who's going to get. Maybe Williams will get Honda. Maybe Williams will get Honda. I don't know. Who knows? I hope maybe Williams will get Honda, and then we'll have the Williams Honda thing going on again. I would love to see that happen, but I forget who's getting the Honda engine package. I'll have to check that. But yeah, it's sad that we're losing Christian Horner at the top of Red Bull. Won't be the same without it. But then again, Newey's gone, he's gone, Verstappen's going to be gone. I don't think they're going to do it. They're going to start anew, and I think maybe Yuki Tsunoda is going to do something, and then they're going to get a couple other drivers. We'll have to see how the market plays out, because we'll have to see how that plays out. But Red Bull under Horner has been hilariously good. So Horner took over as team principal and sort of the head honcho back in the mid to late 2000s, and think it was like 2006, 2007. So what ended up happening was and there was a great combo happening. So Adrian Newey was coming on in 2008, 2009. Horner was coming in. Vettel was rumored to come in the next year, 2009. After his performance at Monza in 08, his rain drive, a lot of people are like, oh, this is finally good. We're finally got somebody different than Schumacher and Alonso or Raikkonen or somebody or some of these other guys that some people can't stand. And then 2009, obviously, they were challenging for the championship, but the Braun GP Mercedes was obviously very, very good. The start of the season, end of the season, it sort of went Red Bull's way a little bit, and they won. And they won and of course, Braun GP won a championship without developing the car the second half of the year, because they needed a backer, and of course, we got Mercedes in 2010. So, but when 2010 hit, after a promising year, a lot of people were like, okay, so Hamilton's nowhere to be found. Schumacher's retired. Raikkonen is so. He's not doing much. In fact, Raikkonen wasn't even in the paddock 2010. So I don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of people are like, Vettel might have a chance of winning this title, and it went down to the wire, of course, with Fernando Alonso, and of course Vettel won. Vettel won because Alonso messed up, and Massa was obviously part of that, that started the streak of 124 wins, and what would become 7 drivers titles and 8 drivers titles and 6 constructors championships. And then, the story kind of reads itself, I remember watching every race back then, and I remember it's a great day on the Formula One grid, and I'm like, yeah, for everybody else except Sebastian Vettel. Oh, he's taking it in the right corner. He's going. Verstappen wins the race. I'm like, yeah. And we had to listen to the German, Austrian anthems for majority of the time between 2010 and 2013. And everybody was like, oh, so we're going to see how this translates to the turbo hybrid era. Everybody's like, oh, Vettel will definitely start winning more championships. This will be great. Of course, Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes happened, and we all know how that went. And everybody's like, oh, this should be a good title fight. Everybody's like, oh, 2014 should be a title fight. Oh. 2015 should be... Oh. Mercedes wins again. Second year in a row. Hopefully Vettel wins this... Oh. There's another one. Nico Rosberg wins the title. 2017. Oh, Vettel's joined Ferrari. He's going to fight Mercedes. Oh. And then 2018, 2019, Red Bull was always in the back of the pack. They were starting to come back up a little bit. They signed Verstappen back in the late 2000, like 2018, 2019. We got Verstappen on the grid. 2020, we had the pandemic happen. Everybody was like, "Oh, we're not going to be able to race," but we ended up racing in the end of July anyway. Mercedes wins again until 2021 when, oh, this title is going down to the wire. Max Verstappen wins his first title, and Red Bull wins its first. Verstappen won the driver's title. I think Mercedes won the constructors championship, and then obviously the obviously history, 21, 22, 23, and even 22 and 23, the most dominant seasons for Red Bull at the time, even more dominant than when Vettel was there. And then 24, everybody was like, oh, this is feeling a bit weird. McLaren's starting to climb back up, and McLaren got a few wins. They started climbing up in the title. Then later on, the development started to win on the Red Bull. McLaren took over the drivers' champion, the constructors' championship. They won with a score of 666, which is a precursor to what was going to happen this year. So, and of course, here now in 2025, Red Bulls only can bring a third best car behind Mercedes and everybody else. And that's kind of the reason why Horner kind of had to go, and the reason why you knew he left, because he kind of knew, everybody kind of knew it was the beginning. Once I kind of figured once knew he left, it was only a big matter of time before Verstappen and Horner were going to join. Will Red Bull start winning again? Well, we'll see how the regulations go. We'll start seeing how the regulations go. McLaren could continue its dominance and win a constructors and a drivers title this year, which probably looks to unless Verstappen comes out of his funk and starts winning. But I don't think the RB21 or whatever it is, RB21. I don't even remember the car number anymore because it doesn't matter because it's a piece of garbage compared to the MC6 36 or 37, McLaren MCL 36 or 37. I can't remember which one. Do I think they will come back? But looking back on Horner's tenure, I think so you have to remember, Horner won 124 Grand Prix, and he helped two drivers win 4 titles apiece for a total of 8. I think Horner had a pretty decent run between the years 2008 and 2015. That's a run of almost like 17, 18 years. And you won 8 constructors titles and you won 124 race wins. The Cosworth DFV has like over 150 wins. So it's like over, I think it's like over 200 Grand Prix wins, or something like that. But he's won, between two drivers, he's won 8 constructors championships. He's won 4 driver, well, 6 drivers championships because, yeah. But the years that Red Bull has been dominant and they've actually shown some stuff, even in the interim years when Red Bull won once or twice and they didn't challenge for the championship, it was still good to see them because it was kind of killer to sit there and listen to the dun, 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 and then followed by the dun, 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 dun. I can't actually do the trying to do the dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it was kind of crazy watching that happen. So it's good to see the Austrian and the Dutch national anthems play a lot during the race weekends. But it could come back if he decides when he goes to Mercedes. We could see it happen again. But I think Red Bull might be back of the pack because Ford's track record in modern Formula One. Last time Ford won a constructors championship and won a drivers championship was the year Senna died, 1994. When, actually, Yeah, he won a drivers' championship because Benetton ended up switching to Renault in 1995. So yeah, the last time any Ford car has well, Stewart Grand Prix won in the late '90s. In 1999, Jackie Stewart's son, ended up winning with Stewart Grand Prix, with the Ford Cosworth V8 and all the white cars. So you know, but it's good to see Ford. It's good to see it's good to see two American brands come back. Scratch that, two American brands, because Cadillac and Ford are coming into the fray, and I think Porsche or Audi is also going to be coming in for that as well next year as well, because I think Porsche's kind of doing taking over Audi's spot after Audi's announcement, like what, 6 years ago, and they still haven't entered the grid. So yeah, this is kind of a look back. So yeah, I kind of expected this to happen to Horner at some stage, whether it be this year or next year. But I think with all the puzzle pieces kind of falling apart, and Newey going to Aston Martin and Verstappen going to Mercedes was kind of like, yeah, we kind of knew this was going to happen. It all fell apart, but for the run they had between 2008 and 2015, winning that many races, that many constructors championships, that many drivers titles, I think it's been very good. And you know, it's made for some entertaining racing, especially the 2021 season where it was tooth and nail the whole time. And of course, watching Verstappen dominate the last couple of years. I mean, not completely dominating 2023. I mean 2024 because of McLaren, Lando Norris. But yeah. But yeah, folks, that's kind of just a look back, my thoughts on it. I think it was a great era. Who knows? Maybe the Ford combination will do better, but it'll be a couple of years maybe. We'll have to just wait and see. I'm not doing it, but I'm happy that I got to watch a team like Red Bull kind of come in and just do well against Mercedes and actually win and actually have a better time than Mercedes did. Seeing as Mercedes has been back in Formula One as a race team, maybe not as long as Red Bull, but had the similar success as Red Bull. I mean, what's his name? In the time Mercedes has been back, Lewis Hamilton has won 7 drivers' titles, and Nico Rosberg has won 1. So it's sort of, so it's good to see that these teams back. It's just, you know, I just wish the Americans would step up and win one of these. But we'll see. Cadillac and Andretti Racing and Ford Red Bull. We'll see how it all goes. It all goes. But yeah, I mean, just, I know he got sacked, but I have to give a round of applause for Christian Horner, because he took Minardi, and a couple other back of the grid teams and turned it into like a real bracketing. So their story will be put on hold for now, but it seems, but they'll be back. They'll be still in Formula One, hopefully for the next few eons. But it's nice to see, a good constructor come, a no-name race team just come in and win. No-name race team, and just a team that's not factory supported, but a team that's not a factory effort from Mercedes, Ferrari, or from Ferrari or Mercedes, or one of the old school teams. I mean, Williams is still there, so we'll see that. So, but yeah, I kind of applaud Christian Horner for his exploits. And Max Verstappen and Sebastian Vettel for giving him amazing drives. Adrian Newey giving him amazing cars. Not saying that this is a bad thing by any means, but I think it's just good that I'm making this video to celebrate the fact that I got to watch a racing dynasty begin. Dynasty begin, a little bit, and they'll be back they'll be back. So, it's same thing happened to Ferrari. Ferrari went away for a little bit, then Schumacher dominated for 7 world titles, dominated with Ferrari for 5 world titles. So, and then he went away. So obviously, Red Bull will be back. I'm just hoping, we have a more competitive thing, and one manufacturer will win 1 year, and then another manufacturer will win another one. So we don't have one team winning it like a million years in a row. So it'd be nice to see McLaren win one this year. Maybe Ferrari will win next year. Maybe when Cadillac's got its act together, it'll win the year after. And maybe Red Bull will win with Ford the year later, and we'll have multiple winners. So we'll have different winners every year, because I kind of want to see that happen. And we'll have to wait and see. We might see Red Bull, or we might see McLaren dominate for a while. We'll see. But yeah. All right, everybody. I'm gonna bid this one adieu, but I've been here with like 30 minutes. So, as usual, everybody, long live America, God bless America. Long live our freedoms and our rights. Long live our great nation. Amen to all the spirits that we've lost. And pray for my friends, my family, and family members that are about to be born soon. So pray that they come into the world safely, and pray for my friends, every single one of them, and pray for the world, and pray for the universe. So Mike Camo here for another radio show, signing off for today. Stick around.